Our next guest is here with some sage advice for new parents. Get your babies out of the stroller and get them to exercise. Author Janet Doman says it could just make them smarter. She is the director of the Institutes for the Achievement of Human Potential. Her new book is called How Smart Is Your Baby? And Janet Doman is here with us now. Pleasure to meet you.
Wonderful to be here.
You know, I've heard about all the baby Einstein tapes and whatever, and it's just everywhere, making your baby smarter. How does exercise help to make baby smarter?
Well, you know, exercise may not be a big enough word. I need exercise. We all need exercise. But the baby really needs opportunity to gain the ability to move. And that's a lot more important than exercise.
What do you mean, gain the opportunity to move? We're always waiting for those benchmarks, lifting head, sitting up, crawling.
You know, you've said an important thing. We're waiting for the benchmark. But it's really our job to make the benchmark happen by giving opportunity to the baby. When you think about it, the baby, 9 months in utero, the baby's moving. He can kick, he can push, he can even do a little somersault in utero. But then when he's born, all of a sudden, he's up against gravity. He's in a big chubby body, and he's got one gravity pushing him down. He's got to learn almost immediately, how do I move in this new environment? I've been free for 9 months. I've been swimming around, having a great time, and all of a sudden he can't move very well. And we have to make an important choice. Are we going to help him move? Are we going to put him in a kind of user-friendly environment where he can move and use all that he learned in utero? Or are we going to bundle him up? Are we going to put him in a wheelchair, put him in a baby carriage, put him in a car seat, so that all day long he can't move? It turns out if we do that to him, and that's very much the modern practice, to bundle the baby up from the neck down, he's swaddled so he can't move.
Right.
When we do that, he loses the abilities that he had in utero to move. And he puts on weight very rapidly, so by the time he's 2 or 3 months, he can't move at all. He thinks the only way I move is if the big ones pick me up and move me. But if right from birth we give him a chance, he'll crawl in the first 24 hours.
Well, I know you were talking about the swaddling. That's the first thing you really learn from the nurses in the hospital, how to swaddle the baby. How do we give the baby the opportunity to experience almost right after birth? What do we do? It's not like a little bug you move and they roll over.
First of all, we get out of his way. We don't swaddle him. We get him out of the heavy clothes. We put him in as little clothing as possible. Much better to make a warm environment that's good for the baby. Get the baby down on a warm, smooth floor, a little mat or a cushioned area, but it has to be smooth, not carpeted, because that will be too much friction for him to move. If we do that right from birth, he will begin to use his arms and legs on his belly to move forward. He has to make 1,000 experiments to figure out, how can I move?
How does this make a child smarter? Where are the statistics on something like that?
Movement is critical to all of life. And if you want to develop your vision, you need to move through space. To the degree he moves through space, he has to look where he's going. He has to use 2 eyes together. And that's very important in getting depth perception. So movement, when he crawls, he starts to look where he's going. Then he starts to push himself up to creep. He has to calculate, where am I in space, or I'm going to hit that chair. So movement really develops that vision much more rapidly. It also helps his respiration. A newborn baby cannot breathe very well. All mothers know this. Mothers are very attentive to this, and they're correct to be, because breathing is critical to life. The baby who has time on the floor to move develops much deeper, more regular breathing more rapidly. He sleeps better. He even eats better. As he gets to be 8 or 9 months old, he'll start to eat a little earlier than the baby who doesn't move.
Janet, we're running out of time, but it also reinforces the importance of the parent rather than a gadget or some expensive toy being the most important first teacher to the baby.
Absolutely. Mother is the best teacher that the baby will ever have in his whole life. No one will ever compare to mother. She doesn't need the wheelchairs, the gadgets, the gizmos, the walkers, the jumpers. One mother, one baby, and the floor. As much time as possible. Bundle your baby up only when you absolutely have to. Otherwise, set him free.
And we're not excluding dads, but we know mom is the primary caregiver in those first, especially those first couple of months and years.
Very much so.
Janet Doman, again, the author is called How Smart Is Your Baby? Thank you for being with us.
My pleasure.